What is up, nerds? The Mother Nerd here, and welcome to March Madness. In this case, Attack on March Madness. Yes, as you can see behind me, this will be about Attack on Titan. So that's what inspired me to call it Attack on March Madness. Yeah, this year, I don't know about college basketball, though. I don't know if they're going to have any type of March Madness going on, but that's neither here nor there because it is all about the anime. So, yes, the reason why I'm doing Attack on Titan is because otherwise I probably wouldn't have, gotten it done sooner. So it would have been later. So this is going to be the review that I've, not promised you guys, but announced many times before in my previous videos. The review, yes, for season 3. So I decided I was going to do this first since I'll have time to do my review for My Hero Academia season 4 because its new season is coming out in the spring of 2020. So again, I still got time for that one. So, yeah, how y'all been doing? Did y'all enjoy last year's March Madness, Super March Madness? That was for when I did my top 6 videos for other things around Dragon Ball Super. If you haven't heard of that yet, you should check it out. I'll put a link in the description below, or put it as an end screen or end card at the end of this video. Yeah, I suggest you guys check that out if you haven't done so before. I do feel like this will be like a yearly thing. I don't know. It depends. I have been consistent thus far. I think so. I don't remember how long ago Super March Madness was. I want to say it was last year, but it feels like it was 2 years ago. So, yeah, it felt very long. But, yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Attack on March Madness. First 3 episodes, that's what I'm going to really talk about here. And I'm going to break them up into 3 to 4 episodes each. I feel like that'd be enough spacing or a good amount of time to have these videos. So that way you guys with your short attention spans will be able to keep up. No, I'm just playing. I love you guys. But anyway, yeah. They kind of go over what happened previously in the second and first season. And we do find out, what the goal is for this third season. To plug up the wall in Shingeki, which is where Eren home was, which is where they needed to get to because his father has something in the cellar that may answer some questions. We don't know what they believe to help defeat the Titans, but we don't really know. We don't really know yet. We just hope that there is something down there. So, yeah, we also get introduced to the new squad of the Levi Squad, which are your main stars for the 104th Cadet Corps, which includes Eren himself, Mikasa Ackerman, Armin Arlet, Jean Kirstein, Connie Springer, and Sasha Browse, a.k.a. the Potato Girl. Rest in peace to the original Levi Squad. I mean, I understand why they got killed because they were the best in the squad, and if they were still alive, I won't say it would be hunky-dory, but it wouldn't have been a whole lot of casualties than there were now. That's all I'm saying. But, yeah, they had to die somehow, so I guess. Anyway, yeah, they had to figure out a way to plug up the hole in the wall that's in Shingeki so they can make their way back to Eren's place. The plan to do this, get Eren to learn the hardening ability to seal up the wall. Yes, this is the same hardening ability that Annie and also Reina has. Reina, who was the armored Titan, he used this hardening ability to put armor plates around his Titan form. And Annie, she used it more as for weapons. So you can kind of see the difference between Reina and Annie. Annie, when she was in her Titan form, she was more of the offensive type person, the one who took, the attack. Reina, he was the defensive. He made sure his defense was, on point. So that could, make up for his way of attack, I guess you can say. So, yeah, they were trying to get Eren to learn this hardening ability. And as of right now, it's not really going too well. That's all I can really say. In this first episode, they get outed. The Survey Corps gets outed. Government makes them out to be the bad guy for whatever reason, so they're being hunted. So they have to be on the run. Can't really go into the city because they'll get captured. But Levi's plan required them to go into the city. So it was like the most obvious solution would be the furthest thing from their opponent's mind. So that's what they went with. That was their plan. And as this plan was going on, Levi, it was just something was eating at him. You can tell, and he kind of explains this while he's narrating, because this plan was just going too easily. Because what they did was they had Jean and Armin play decoys. So Jean played as Aaron again, and Armin played as Historia, because we also find out that they are trying to capture Aaron and Historia. They don't know why yet, but they decided if they were going to go into town, they needed these decoys. So that's what happened there. So this plan, it seemed like it's just going too good, as I said. And Levi, he starts talking to one of his crew members, about if they knew who Kenny the Ripper was. Yes, Kenny the Ripper, not Jack the Ripper, but Kenny the Ripper. He pretty much did the same thing. Well, not exact same thing, but in general sense, he did the same thing. He killed a lot of people. In this case, Kenny the Ripper, back in his day, he killed a lot of interior police folks. By who orders, we don't know yet. We just know he killed a lot of them. Keep things quiet, close to the vest, if you will. But we figured out Kenny the Ripper is the one that's behind all of this here and ambushes Levi. Kenny and his elites, known as the Kenny elites, kills two of Levi's people, and he's surrounded. It looks like about 50 to 100 people surrounding him, and what looks like new weapons, kind of like shotguns, sawed-off shotguns or whatever. And he's not even really worried about them. He's just looking at Kenny like, why are you here? So him and Kenny know each other. How they know each other, we don't know yet. That's how the first episode ends. So the start of the second episode, he's fighting Kenny and the rest of his elites. Levi by himself kills about 12 or 13 of them. So there was probably about maybe 30 or 35, in total, with Kenny to try to kill Levi and the rest of the people to capture Aaron and Historia. But Levi kills almost half of them by himself. Like, he was alone for real. So that just shows you just how much of a badass Levi is. And that's why he's my favorite character in this show. But yeah, with that being said, they do end up getting Aaron and Historia, so they couldn't really do much about that. Just wait it out. They know that they weren't going to kill them right off the bat, because if they wanted to do that, they would have done it on the spot. So they know they had to have them for some reason. What their reason is, they don't know yet. So that's pretty much how this is the third season, but that's pretty much how the second episode ends. So with the third episode, Aaron, we know not Aaron, but Irvin, he is in the capital, but he's kind of like on house arrest. So he kind of knows that the government going to be coming from. They're either going to lock him up or something worse. So he's just kind of, waiting it out to see where all the pieces in this chess game are to make his next move. So with that being said, we get the transition to Historia. She talks about her life among the cadet corps in a little flashback before all this craziness was happening. She was talking about her past with her mother, of the relationship that they had. It wasn't a good one. It was not a good one at all. She talked about how her mother really was not paying attention to her at all. She was non-existent. So she just wanted her to acknowledge her, to react to anything that she did. At one point, she decided to give her mother a hug or jump on her or something. She got a reaction, all right, but it wasn't It wasn't one on what you think it would be. The mom took her hand, grabbed Historia's face, and mushed her away from him. She ended up getting a nosebleed, but Historia really didn't care about that. She ended up smiling at her mother because she finally got a reaction out of her. Not the reaction that I would have wanted as a kid, but at least it was a reaction nonetheless for her, and she was smiling about it. So you kind of see how she was as a kid, and when we first see her in the first season and the second season of this show, very optimistic person, wanting to take care of everybody, putting herself out there for whatever reason. We don't know, what her motives was for that, but given her backstory, we see why she was doing all of this stuff. So after she exposed herself, she went to the other side of this personality spectrum. She went from being very openly optimistic to a very overly pessimistic person. Now that she's not playing this fake person anymore, Krista, she doesn't know, what to do with herself. She doesn't feel like she has any type of purpose in life. Aaron, he kind of gives her a type of, reassurance, like, hey, it's okay. You're just like everybody else now. And, the other person, nobody really liked her. We all know she was kind of fake, or there was something up for you being this way. It was just going to be a matter of time before it popped out. And here you are. So welcome, Historia, and goodbye, Krista. So that was kind of that there. That was, I guess, kind of a little, a good thing on Aaron's part to do when we got the backstory for her. Also, we got a little backstory about Aaron. Not Aaron, but Irvin. See, that's what I did. Aaron and Irvin. I might always get these messed up. But Irvin, we also get some backstory on Irvin. He was talking to Commander Pixis, the bald guy that sounds like Makarov. That's the master of the Fairy Tale Guild. That's where I know him from. But Commander Pixis meet up with Irvin. And Irvin tells Commander Pixis a little story about his childhood. He ends up talking about his father, who was a teacher. And one day in class during the history session, Irvin decides to ask his dad a question. And it was a very good question because from the reaction his dad gave him, it was like, I can't really tell you the answer to this, but I'm gonna give you an empty answer just so you won't ask anything more. And we don't know exactly what kind of question Irvin asked his dad, and we don't know exactly the response his dad gave him, because it's just showing us the past while Irvin's is doing the narration. So he's just summarizing up his memory here. But he does say afterwards, when they went home, his dad told him, the truth and a theory on why the history books was teaching or had this type of information in it. And he was just mind blown. And being the kid that he was, it came with a certain level of naivety. He ended up telling, every kid that he knew, in town. That's not really good, considering that if the books had contradictions and lies in it, certain people put them in there for a reason. And if people start talking about the actual truth or trying to get to it, bad things were going to happen. And that's exactly what happened to his father. He ended up getting in a car accident or something like that, some type of accident. But he knew it wasn't an accident because it was just too of a coincidence for when he was telling, all of these kids about this information. And then the next day, his dad dying, he knew what was up and he felt responsible for it because he was telling everybody about it. And the police came up to him asking, where you get this information from. And, again, being that the kid that he was, he told the truth because he's like, I don't see what is the harm in knowing the truth. So I'm going to tell people. So, but that ended up costing his father's life. So his dream is to see if his father's theory was true. So that's the reason why he's in the position that he is now, because otherwise he wouldn't have the connections or strings to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. We find out who gave the order to kidnap Eren and Historia, and there was none other than Historia's father, King Rice. Yes, he is a king. So they figured out he was the one to do this kidnapping, and when they found that out, they also figured out that Historia was also a royal blood now. Not true royal blood, I guess you could say, because she has a different mother than her other siblings. So yeah, her daddy was I won't say he was a player. He was just, he cheated. That's what he cheated. He wasn't necessarily a player. He didn't look like the player type to like talk to other women, to get play like that. He found this other woman to be attractive and just, lay with her, I guess. I don't know, however you say it. But yeah, she is the quote unquote illegitimate child of the royal family, King Rice royal family anyway. So yeah, you find out he's the one behind capturing them two, and the purpose on why they wanted them to capture. Number one being Eren, he, is a Titan. He's not supposed to have that power. Only the royal family is. And Historia is a royal blood now, so you can kind of see where this is going to go. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things. Afterwards, he gets Kenny the Ripper to kill a guy named Reese, Mr. Reese. Yeah, Mr. Reese, he is the same guy that we met in season 1 who was trying to get his merchandise, big old merchandise on this cart, through that narrow tunnel while everybody was behind him, could be possibly killed if a Titan came. And he was like, nobody's getting through until y'all help me get my, product, through this tunnel. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Yeah, he was being an a-hole about that. Irvin, when he found out about the murder of Mr. Reeves, he spoke highly of him and his company, because his company was the one to bring back some type of economics to one of the cities that were brought down by the attack on the Titans that happened in the earlier seasons. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do my best to find out who really killed him. So your husband's death isn't, in vain or whatever. So I'm like, I guess that's good. I mean, I give him that. So that's the only thing I can give him. Yeah. So this was done all the while Irvin, he finally, got persecuted, or the government finally made a play on Irvin by accusing him of murdering Mr. Reeves. So they took him into custody and was going to execute him. And once they executed him, they was going to hunt down the rest of the scouts and kill them, because essentially they may know something about, what's going on, and they don't want anybody else to know. So again, what Irvin's father theory is starting to, to play true. So now this gives Irvin, his next move to come up with the plan to overthrow the government, because he believed that they are fake, and what they want to do is to put a new ruler in place. Who that ruler would be, we'll find out soon enough later on in the attack on March Madness. So what do you guys think of this first video? Is it good? Y'all like it? Y'all like this March Madness version? I hope so, because I'm not going to stop until it's finished. But no. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how I was going to actually do my review for the third season of Attack on Titan. And I'm just glad that, me remembering that it was going to be March a while back, popped up in my head. So I was like, okay, yeah, March Madness and Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan got madness in it, so why not? Perfect place to put my Attack on Titan review for March Madness. So that'll do it for this video. I don't know exactly what days I'll do this for. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Friday like I did Super March Madness, or maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll see. It's kind of leaning towards Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if that is the case, then be sure to look out for these videos every Tuesday and Thursdays at, I don't know what time yet. It may be variable, it may be constant, but you'll know the day that it'll come out on, which would be Tuesdays and Thursdays. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, you guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Get this out there to all the nerds in the universe, multiverse, and alternate dimensions. And I will see you in the next one. The Immortal Nerd, signing off.